Put on your thinking caps, put on your mystery boots, get your cozy blanket. Today we are playing Stillwater. It's wet. Let's go. Oh. I'm sorry, but I can't stay here anymore, Nina. I feel like I'm going crazy. Calm down, if you can just talk it out. So many strange things keep happening, one after another. Every day there's this damn dripping sound. I thought it was just something leaking at first, but I check every faucet, every ceiling, everything, and I still hear it everywhere, constantly echoing in my ears. Please listen to me. Oh, but the water, that damn water. Water? Yes, it's everywhere. Pools of it are all over the house, and every time I try to mop it all up, another will appear. There's no end to it. It's at night. It's at night when it comes. What are you talking about? I hear someone or something walking along the hallways at night. Maybe it's just my grandfather. No, Nina, it's not him. I thought it was, but it's not. But I've seen it. That thing. Huh? Only glimpsed at it once, but I'm more than certain that thing was not your grandfather. Ever since that night, I would lock my door and pray it would walk past my room. Huh? I don't know what's going on, but I swear it just keeps walking. Always walking on pools of water. Sometimes I hear them randomly. Their steps are erratic and faint, but I can still hear them. Just this steady pace up and down the halls. But I think recently, it's no longer like that. What do you mean? Every morning, I follow to see where the wet footprints lead. It walks towards something, more clearly than before. It would walk down the hall to climb the stairs and turn corners. All of it I'd follow. Eventually the trail would come to a stop. And it would all stop right by your grandfather's room. His room? Is this some kind of sick joke to scare me away? Then please stop. It's not a joke, Nina. I meant it when I said that there's something wicked going on in this house. That can't be true. I know this is a lot, but you have to believe me. I can stay here. I can't stay here any longer. I'm sorry, Nina. Oh, it's okay. I understand. Thank you for taking care of my grandfather up until now. And I'm sorry for all the stress I've caused you. I'll sure to pay you right away as soon as Nina, listen to me. I don't know what's happening around here, but... The woman on the phone cautiously looks around, turning her head constantly back and forth, looking over her shoulder to find, if any, others listening in. She grips the phone so close to her ear in a vice-like grip, before speaking again in a hushed tone. Something terrible is lurking in this house. I don't know what it is, but please, as soon as you get back, take your grandfather and just leave this place. Huh? Leave? I can't just leave everything behind. We have nowhere else to go. Please, Nina, this place is not safe. The rumors, they're true. The curse is real. My family is not cursed. But Nina, at this rate, you and your family will... Enough. A pause. Cold and sharp tenseness strains the call as both women, exhausted and stressed beyond their comfort, try to stifle their growing frustrations toward another. Neither yielding to others' thought, only leaving anger and hurt to fester through the silence. After what feels like a suffocating stillness, Nina finally sighs and heavily responds bluntly to the caretaker. Look, I don't know what you heard or saw, but I just can't leave things like this. Whoever or whatever they are, they will come answer to me. I won't let them have their way. I don't have time wasting my energy on this stupid curse. So if you can't help me, then so be it. I'll find a way. Nina, my grandfather is all I have left. He's all I have left. Ooh, who is this? The diner at 7 a.m. Amid a foggy morning, there sits a man by the corner of a booth. He drinks black coffee, depending on his mood, occasionally orders a donut. And today it was just black coffee. Ugh. I swear I've never seen that amount of paperwork in my life. A freaking mountain worth of it. You're a valuable member of our team, Hugo. My foot. I'm starting to believe that was Bamboozle and is enjoying their agency. Hugo Laurent, age 30, takes a good look at his cup of joe and chugs it all in one sitting. He then continues to grumble to himself about last night's grueling work at the office. I really need to find a different job. As he contemplates his poor life decisions, he looks out towards the early mist. There was something inherently terrifying about the fog to him, how it engulfs everything and nothing. Even if it disappears, it always leaves behind traces, proof of it remaining. Even in a quaint little town like this, I can't even run from my fate, I guess. Hugo finally stares at the compiled newspaper clippings he put together. Some of them from recent events, but mainly all were past headlines of missing person cases. No matter how many times I see this, it's still just as hard to look at. Fixating case after case, he can't help but remind himself that there is a reason for all of this. An all too personal reason. Seeing strange things come with a price. In the end, I'm the one doing this to myself. Sounds rough, mind if I join, Kuya? An annoyingly familiar voice interrupts his train of thought. He slowly looks up to see the one responsible, although reluctantly. Good morning, Hugo. Hugo scowls and turns away from him. He then gathers the files and shoves it back into the binder. Meanwhile, the tall man takes this as an initiative and sits at the opposite end of the table. Oh, booth, sorry. He greets the waitress passing by and orders himself hefty body breakfast special with an extra plate. As usual, the waitress is happy to oblige and goes back to the counter to relay his order. The man then looks back at Hugo. He says that he sees the empty cup and now jumbled newspaper clippings, all while Hugo is trying to ignore him. You really should eat something with that black coffee. Not ordering any donuts today? I'm fine, Noah. So this is Noah. I'm just not in the mood, okay? Not even a little. There's a momentary silence between them before Noah disturbs it once more. Well, too bad for you. I ordered a big breakfast for the two of us. Two. As if the world could grace Noah with an even more perfect punchline, the food arrives. That looks delicious. Why the hell did you order for the two of us? Just eat what you want to eat. Don't worry about me. Wow. Mokkang masarap. Right, Hugo? Are you even listening to me? Come on, we both know that if you don't eat now, who knows when you will. And I'm not about to let you faint again. So they have a past, clearly. And he's very caring so far. So open wide. Noah de Leon, age 27, a natural-born charmer, is the only person in the world who lovingly threatens him to eat every day. You know what? Sometimes you need that. With a pensive look, Hugo finally gives in and eats the generous spoonful without further complaints. It's good. Right? Good food will always help you cheer up. Damn him, I got swept away again. Oh, by the way, the chief will be out for a business trip. She mentioned it will be for a couple days. When did she tell you this? I didn't hear anything about it. Yesterday, I think? Yesterday? She told me to sort the cabinets yesterday. She didn't mention anything about a business trip. I guess it was a pretty sudden one. Well, I mean, she did tell me to tell you. And lucky me, I know where you go every morning. Cute. You know what? I'm not surprised anymore. What do you want to do? We technically have the day off. I'm gonna head back to the office. There's a couple of boxes I didn't get the chance to sort out. In that case, I'll come with you. Why? You could just rest for the day. And pass up this opportunity to get to know you better, Kuya? Quit it. After their enlightening banter, the two of them finished their breakfast, paid for their meals, and head to Hugo's car. As Noah opens the door to the passenger seat, he notices a bloodhound sleeping inside. Aw, look at he's so cute. The big dog stirs at the sound of the car opening and lazily stares at Noah. I'm sorry, big guy. He then closes the door while trying not to make too much noise to disturb its occupant. Colby. Oh, look at him, he's so cute. At the sound of his name, his heavy-lidded eyes slowly peek to see who calls for him. It is his one and only partner, his human. As if finally realizing who he is or where he is, the old bloodhound stirs up from his sleep, pounces at Hugo, and proceeds to wag his tail uncontrollably. Cute. Good morning, Colby. Have a nice nap? Oh, look at him. He's cute too. So cheery. Immediately glowing now. Colby, 8 years old. Hugo's most faithful and loving partner in crime, has the biggest tendency to just sleep all over the place. He's 8 years old, aw. Noah, who is witnessing all of this from the back seat. Okay, so now he's in the back seat of the car because he gets the passenger. That's so funny. Witnessing all of this from the back seat, chuckles to himself. He's amazed and slightly defeated at Hugo's sudden surge of energy. Doesn't matter how many times I try, when it comes to boosting his mood, Noah can beat Colby. Agency, 7:50 a.m. The three head back to the office. The space is just the same as Hugo left it. A decent, organized mess. To his credit, for the amount of boxes he painstakingly went through, he believes he did a fair job. Albeit it could be even better. Wow, you really outdid yourself, Hugo. It looks less crowded. Ah, shut it, will you? I said I was going to get to it. Thanks, boy. Before Hugo could continue to give deserved head pats, he notices someone. A woman stands timidly peering outside from the storefront. She looks a bit frantic, even more restless with her disheveled and ill-fitted clothes, drawing emphasis to her already too visible petite frame. The woman tries to grasp the door handle several times, but stops before she could touch it. Her brows furrow, agitated and distressed about something. So much to the point it is preventing her from just simply reaching out for help. However, when she finally makes eye contact with Hugo, she immediately rushes in. I just noticed, none of them have nostrils. There's no holes. How are they breathing? What do these little dots mean? I'm so sorry. I know that the closed sign is up, but I saw you come in and Are you alright, miss? I need your help. My grandfather, Before she can continue explaining, Noah swiftly cuts in front of Hugo and intervenes, in all too practiced manner. It's okay, miss. We'll hear what you have to say. So please, why don't you sit right over there? Noah gestures to one of the empty seats at the other side of the office. The poor woman hesitates for a moment. She clutches desperately to the strap of her purse, her eyes focusing apprehensively on them and at the gestured seat. After mulling over Noah's offer, she quickly glances back and nods. The woman then sits towards the corner of the room and sits at the edge of the sofa. Her posture is wary and tense, giving no sign of comfort for even this brief moment of peace. Can you start off by telling us your name? I apologize for earlier. I'm usually a bit more composed than this, but I guess I'm failing at that too. My name is Nina Mortimer. Ooh, The Sims. Sims 2. 1. And 3. 4? The Sims. My name is Nina Mortimer. Ah, hello, Miss Nina. My name is Noah de Leon. I am one of the assistants here. The big guy next to you is our other lovely assistant, Colby. And the one brooding over there is private investigator Hugo Laurent. I'm not brooding, I'm just tired. And our chief over here is away on business. Why did I say over here? And our chief is away on business, but I think we can still accommodate you. So how can we help, Miss Nina? Just for a moment, Nina appeared a bit more lax, more hopeful, maybe even relieved from this warm welcome. However, she once again tenses up, the guilt and shame come rushing back to her, visible by the creases of her brow as she once again realizes why she is here. I need help watching over my grandfather tonight. Tonight? Yes, I know this is a strange request, but my hands are tied on this. It has to be tonight. I'm sorry, Miss Nina, I don't quite understand. Is your grandfather in any danger? I think someone's trying to take him away. Huh? Take him? Miss Nina, I think you should contact the police. Yeah. Miss Nina, I think you should contact the police right away. They're far more equipped at handling this kind of situation. No, they're not. Oh, shit. I tried requesting their help, but they've given me the same answer verbatim for 2 weeks. For weeks now. I don't know why I said 2. They would send someone out to watch over the manor for the entire day, but by the end of the routine, they would always report back nothing usual. They saw no one else leaving or arriving at the house other than me or the caretaker. And despite telling them all the details about the letters and all the strange things that have been happening, there's nothing they can do about it, but just sit around until it escalates even more. I can't wait any longer. Any more of this, and then it'll all be too late. If only I knew who Louis was. Louis? Is it Louis or Louis? He lets out a She lets... Look, let me explain. I see this, and it flips. The words flip for me sometimes when I read. In my head, words just flip. So throughout this playthrough, if you notice I just say the wrong word and I just move on, it's probably because in my head, like the letters just moved around for me. So that's just kind of how my brain works. Just so you're aware. Letters, words, numbers, they flip around for me sometimes. Which is how this... Sometimes my brain adds in a word randomly mid-sentence. Like before when I just said 2 weeks. Why did I say 2 weeks? Like it's just... That's just how this works. So if I say anything wrong, let me know in the comments below. She lets out a gasp. Her hand shot out to cover her mouth, realizing she said too much so carelessly. She tries to avert her gaze, but Hugo stares persistently at her. Miss Nina, who is Louis? Are they the ones causing all of this? Once more, she contemplates, her brows knit closely together as she bites her lips nervously. It's as if the words she wanted to say have suddenly died out, too heavy to even mutter, as a mistake she can't take back. Before the silence stretches further, Noah speaks to Nina with a gentle and reassuring tone. Miss Nina, I know it's scary. All the things you mentioned to us so far, no one should ever have to experience, especially by themselves. I assure you we'll listen to all of it. I promise. Wild and manic eyes search deeply at them, trying desperately to discern any doubt or mistrust in her faces. However, all she sees are people who are willing to give her the time to simply listen to her, to actually help her. From this alone, Nina looks to the side where her purse is and opens it. Tucked inside one of the pockets, she takes out a single, slightly crumpled envelope with a pigmented red wax seal pressed in the middle. At a glance, Hugo can tell right away that this letter appears to be a bit more worn out and antique. And yet, despite its delicate form, it remains well preserved, well kept. It's as if the letter itself was untouched by time, forever waiting to be opened. Grandfather has been receiving cryptic letters for the past month now. The letters didn't come with an address or a name of the sender, but this one is different from the rest. This had the name Louis on it. As she hands over the letter, Hugo notices her hand slightly shaking. Nina is still avoiding his gaze, but he knows she is trying in earnest. But before he could reach out his hand, he senses it. A faint shift in the room, unnoticeable to the others, but all too glaringly clear to him. There's something very wrong with this letter. Suddenly, Hugo recoils his hand away in pain, like being struck with something sharp, so spontaneously, so memorable, that even if the pain disappears within seconds, a hint of it remains. Something so small, akin to a prick from a rose's thorn. Or more like a paper cut. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you. No, I'm fine, Miss Mortimer. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Hugo stares squarely at the cut. A thin red line starts to form slowly by the top of his index finger, trailing down and stopping just above the first crease. A red so clearly visible is taunting. That doesn't look like a normal paper cut to me. Let me get you a Band-Aid. It's fine, Noah. I don't need one. But really, it's fine. It doesn't even hurt that much. Noah takes one good look at him before sighing exasperately and sitting back down in his chair, still eyeing on Hugo's hand. Hugo shrugs and returns his attention back to the letter, but this time, luckily, nothing happens. For it to reach all the way out here with just a letter alone, it is truly terrifying. Carefully, he removes the content of the envelope and unfolds it. At first, it looks like any normal written message. A person named Louis is asking the other, Henry, to come meet him by the lake at midnight, needing to share something important with him. However, what's eerily striking about this is not the letter itself. Appearing at the bottom of the page, a message scrawled, unlike the rest, stands visibly out to Hugo. A message that shouldn't be there. Remember our promise, Henry. When did you receive this letter? Yesterday. And your grandfather, where is he right now? He's currently back at home with the caretaker. I promised him I wouldn't be out for too long. I made an agreement with him, you see. Oh, what sort of agreement? The caretaker we have now agreed to watch over my grandfather, but only during the day. Before nightfall, they would leave exactly at the same time. Before nightfall. I wanted to believe that this whole thing was an elaborate scheme to scare my family away. I know this sounds crazy, but at one point I thought everyone else was in on it. The mail carriers, the officers, the caretakers, everyone had a hand at making our family suffer. But this one was different. Up until now, I never heard anyone by that name. Not a relative or a family friend. But they clearly know who grandfather is. If I don't do something about this, I'll lose him too. Just by uttering the words alone, Nina begins to break down. The stress, the anxiety, the fatigue of it all was finally catching up to her. Her body hunches forward, her hands pressed close to her eyes as she tries to cover the stream of tears running down her face. As an act of comfort, Colby sits closer to Nina while Noah fetches tissues for her. Hugo on the other hand, the other here is what gets me. Hugo on the other hand is puzzled. She said this whole thing has been going on for the past month, but something doesn't add up. And before nightfall, I think there's more to this she's not admitting. Whatever happened with the letter, I am more than certain that whoever or whatever Louis is, they're coming for blood. Take the case. Do you want more tissues? We'll do it. We'll take your case. For a moment, everything goes still. Their eyes' attention are solely directed at Hugo, whose eyes have a certain glint to them, now unwavering and more determined than ever. Before anyone else speaks, Nina stands up, wipes away any stray tears from her face, and walks up to him. You'll take it? Hugo simply nods. Thank you. Thank you. You don't know how much this means to me. We're glad to help, miss. Nina, just call me Nina. Well, Nina, we'll do our best. Nina smiles at Hugo and Noah in gratitude, her eyes renew with a faint gleam, a hope that maybe things will change for her and her family for the better. However, before heading out, Nina reaches into her bag once more. She takes out a small piece of paper and a pen and hastily starts jotting something down. I best be on my way. I'll let grandfather know ahead of time you'll be coming. Also, this is my address. I'll be sure to greet you all when you arrive. And thank you again, truly. She politely bows to them and walks out of the office, already reaching into her purse for car keys. Hugo watches from his desk as she goes to open the driver's seat. Nina looks back at the office window and takes one last look at Hugo. She waves slightly at him before finally pulling out of the parking lot and driving off. Once out of sight, Hugo turns to look at his cluttered desk. Still messy but presentable. I guess I'll have to sort these out later again. Car. 5:30 p.m. or 17:30. Ooh, that sounds nice. The rain. From the ongoing downpour to the quiet hums of the car, they sit in silence. Still miles off their destination, Hugo constantly checks the rearview mirror to see any passing cars. It was only them on the road. Noah, who usually chats his ear off by now, leans quietly against the car door as he looks out to the passing streetlights, reserved and distant. He hasn't said a word to Hugo since they left the office. Hey, you're a lot quieter than usual. What's wrong? Huh, what a surprise. Have you been looking at Miku yet? No, you idiot. You usually just talk a lot. That's all. So you miss me talking. Just say it. Do you believe her story? What? Given all the things she's told us, do you think she's telling the truth? Yes, I believe her, or at least I believe she hasn't lied to us. But you know, I still can't shake this feeling that she's hiding something. Like if she left out certain details on purpose. Also, why does she have to travel this far out of town for a private eye? Surely there must have been another one. Blah. Surely there must have been another far closer to her home than ours. I just don't know how to explain it. As expected of you, Hugo. Are you making fun of me? No, not at all. I'm just admiring your observations. I didn't want to offend Nina earlier, so I just kept quiet until she finished. But her last name caught me off guard. Have you heard about the Mortimers? They're a pretty distinguished family that owned an esteemed fishing company. Well, they used to, I believe. They have yet to name an heir. What do you mean? Shouldn't it go naturally to Nina? It should, but I don't know. From what I heard each time they tried to name a successor, their relative mysteriously disappears. Gone without a trace, or so anyone thought. Their bodies would soon turn up months later. You know what's strange? All of them have been labeled as accidents by local news. No foul play, just an unfortunate loss for the family. They've been struck with so many tragedies that over time people began to believe they were cursed or something. Cursed. I think I can understand why she wouldn't want to go to the police again. They most likely thought she was seeing things or went along with the procedures just to keep face. But deep down they must have thought she has gone mad. I can't imagine all of this for Nina. And most of all, who knows what we will find there. Is that why you decided to come with me? Well, partially. I'm more worried about you, though. Me? Why? Think of it this way. I'm the appointed driver. When you decide to do some pretty reckless shit, I'll be there to drive you to the local hospital. Ugh. Besides, 2 is better than 1. They're cute together, I think. They're so cute together. Exactly. I was fine with Colby coming with me. Well, have you heard that 3 is better than 2? Ugh. Mortimer Estate, 6 p.m. Passing through countless dirt roads and steep cliffs, the estate can finally be seen beyond the evergreen. Nestled away from prying eyes, it stands tall, magnificent, and classic. Truly a rarity only afforded to the privileged. And yet, with all its opulence, it looms from a distance. Hugo and Noah could only gaze at the sheer scale of the manor. Its grand stature topples easily over the dozens of houses they drove past. Wow, look at the size of it. I could never imagine seeing a house like this in person. It's almost surreal. Come on, she's waiting for us. Immediately after exiting the driver's seat, a sudden sharp pain weighs heavy on Hugo's chest. Grasping tightly at his coat, he begins to gasp for air. His vision hazes as he leans close to the car, trying desperately to ground himself. Like a fish drawn out of the sea, he desperately heaves. The air in his lungs escaping too quickly burns as he feels his throat start to strain, drawing tighter the more he breathes. But this pain pales in comparison to the feeling far more excruciating. Is it the house? No, something more sinister. He feels that someone is watching him. A piercing gaze fixed on him, like glaring at a bug waiting to strike. We'll be together soon, Henry. What the hell? Damn it, already? I need to hurry or else. Hey, are you alright? Noah calls out to him, snapping him out of his fixated trance. Colby nudges his head against Hugo, whining with concern of his partner's well-being. Did you hear that just now? Hear what? That voice. It was so close to my ear, Is everything alright? Oh, I'm fine, don't mind me. I'm just a bit winded from the trip, that's all. I'd be happy to make you tea at the very least. If it's no trouble. No, not at all. It's the least I can do. Once again, this subtle uneasiness from Nina surfaces. But before Hugo could get a chance to look further into this, she walked off towards the front porch without saying another word. Are you sure you're alright? You sound like you were choking earlier. I said I'm fine. Besides, we're here already. We can't back out now. Listen to me, I think you should. Noah abruptly cuts his lecture short as he notices Nina stopping by the front door. She stands by the door silently, contemplating something. It's like just before, but this time she seems more anxious. Whatever unease she tried to mask earlier became more apparent the moment they walked closer to the front door. I haven't been quite honest with you, Detective. Just like before, as if carefully choosing her next words, she decides that in this situation, words are not enough. You'll see for yourselves what I mean. And with that, Nina enters the house, leaving the three to follow behind. Hugo is about to enter through the foyer when he feels a tug on his arm. Forget what I told you. Don't forget what I told you. If something happens, let me know right away. You'll be the first to know. And with that, Noah releases his grip on Hugo. They proceed to head in, not knowing what awaits them beyond the door. Greeted with a brightly lit hallway, Hugo notes immediately that the interior is just as grand. Adorned with floral accents, antique furnishings, the house itself exudes out the word elegance. A classic and rustic charm with the walls and floorings made from the finest wood. Hugo couldn't help but gape when he walked in. However, he notices something even more distinct than the splendor. Behind the seemingly perfect veneer, an unsettling air reigns throughout the house, leaving no room for doubt that the inside is far more terrifying than the outside. Please, come this way. Wait, is that the grandfather? Because that looks like a young person. There's no way. There's no way. This looks like a young person. Brown hair. Everything. Like there's no gray hairs or anything. Bracing themselves, they entered the dimly lit drawing room. At first glance, Hugo could not discern the silhouette situated at the far corner. Only the sparse lighting from the window pierces through a fraction of the room's darkness. However, as they approach closer to the silhouette, Hugo now understands the reason for all of Nina's unsettling vagueness. Grandfather, we have guests. Who is this? Who is that? Is it Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan? Who is this? That's not a grandfather. You have a lot of explaining to do, Nina. Unless... No. This isn't like some weird, like, mummified person just sitting here, right? Sitting on the armchair is a very young man, not much older than Hugo or Noah. He is dressed modestly and shares none of the imposing presence of the manor. No, rather, such luxury does not even remotely reflect on the man before them all. It's as if the flow of time had stopped only for him while the rest had continued changing drastically without him. Just like the letter, timeless, delicate, and jarringly out of place. Staring only at the window, the young man sits there dazed with little acknowledgement of the people around him. Still, motionless, like a doll. Grandpa, these are the people I spoke of. This is Detective Laurent and his two assistants, Colby and Noah. They're going to help us. Oh, you're Henry. Even after introducing them to the head of the Mortimer estate, Hugo and Noah could not help but feel unnerved. The man before them is supposed to be frail and older than any of them, and yet here he remains, forever unchanging, forever young. They've come all the way, so I'll be making some tea. Would you also like some, Grandpa? He does not reply back, nor does he glance at Nina or anyone else in the room. Only fixates his gaze on the rain, nothing else. I'll be sure to make a cup for you, too. She then timidly gestures to Hugo and Noah back to the foyer. Bearing more questions, the two follow Nina outside. But before they leave the drawing room, Hugo takes one last look at the young man. There's an all too familiar air about Henry Mortimer. His eyes, they're similar to his own. Wherever he must be longing for, Hugo knows it will never end well. Nina, that man. Yes, he's my grandfather. The one I asked you to watch all... The one I asked you all to watch over. I know this is hard to believe, but... Nina draws something out of her pocket. It's an old picture of a handsome man with slicked back hair, wearing the finest suits. The gentleman in the picture has a different air to him. One of wealth and power. None of which reflects at all on the current Henry Mortimer. It's almost as if looking at two different people. This isn't much to go by, but believe me, they are the same person. Then why does he look so young? It happened a few nights ago. I was on my way to get a cup of water when I heard a loud thud coming from my grandfather's room. I was worried something fell over, so I went to go check. And when I opened the door, I found Nicolette's on the ground. When I rushed to help him up, but when I did, he looked so different. He wore the same clothes that my grandpa wore that night. And his face, I recognized his face. He looked younger. So many things were rushing through my head at the moment, and yet I knew he felt familiar to me. I know this sounds bizarre the more I talk about it, but that's what happened. So, very strange. Now we're in Nina's home, Nina Mortimer, The Sims. Correct me if I'm wrong. And her grandfather is Levi from Attack on Titan. Apparently, it just randomly happened. She hears a thud in her room, in her grandfather's room. She rushes over, goes to help him up, and then notices, oh, you're young now. Okay. I guess that just happens in this world. Has that happened to you? Leave a comment below. Let me just take another sip of my watered down juice. Okay, very interesting. Very creepy. I noticed his eyes are also glowing green. So I don't know if that means anything. What power does Hugo have also? Because now he mentions that it's also similar, like, or is it like, because they mentioned it a longing, his eyes, he's looking out the window, like this longing feeling that he's searching for. So maybe that's what Hugo meant when they were saying he also has that. So very interesting. I don't know. Let's continue. That was also the same night I found that letter. It was next to him, already opened. I'm sorry for all this. No matter who I went to, they either said something was wrong with me or my family. With everything going on, maybe they're right. The pools of water, the letters, Louis, and now this. I've been ignoring the signs for years and just blindly hoping things can get better if I try finding solutions on my own. But that's not enough anymore. Maybe my family is really cursed. No, they're not. Curses aren't real. Detective? I think we easily get too involved in believing that sort of thing exists. In truth, the ones who fixate on it make it their reality. The rumors, the doubts, the lies, all those are what they want to become real. Deep-rooted emotions like that can't possibly be healed or fixed right away. But like a curse, those emotions drag other people down with them. Personally, I think you were caught up in all of this. But I assure you we'll see this through. For you and Mr. Mortimer. Thank you. Good. Now, our first priority is to find out more about Louis. You know, that letter you showed us back at the NHC. Do you have it with you? Yes, it's here. Do you mind if I borrow it for a bit? I'll be sure to give it back. Of course, but what are you going to do with it? I've searched everything on that letter and I still couldn't come up with clues. I'll be using it as a reference or a guide, if you will. I'm afraid I can't discuss too much of the process, trade secret and all. Of course. I'll check upstairs. Noah, you and Colby check the ground floor. Got it. Before they leave to do their own investigation, Hugo grabs a hold of Noah's shoulder. He leans in close, enough for Nina not to hear. Keep a close eye on Mr. Mortimer and Nina. Especially Nina. I don't want her to be dragged any more than she already is. So whatever happens, keep her safe. And then they kiss. Hugo, you. Fine, but remember, yell for me, okay? I know. Thank you, Noah. I'm counting on you. You too, boy. With a final nod at them, Hugo then goes towards the staircase and heads upstairs. Noah stares for a moment longer at Hugo's back before he disappears into the first floor. He then turns to look at Colby. Well, it's time we get to work. Right, Colby? Investigation start. Investigation start. Get ready. Put on your thinking caps. The objective is to look around the area for objects to precede the story. Use the arrows or the arrow keys to move to a different area. Outlines will appear on a clickable object. On the right, top right. Oh, let me move my camera. There. You see? Here. Over here. Yeah, there will be a highlight and it will be like the hint option. The hint button is up here. So if you're like lost, the hint button is up here. Just so you know. It's like, so like there's a clickable object that will outline it, and then if you're lost, it will be up here. Got it? You got it, guys? Okay, let me put it. Where do I go? I guess I go here. Does that work? I'm not hiding anything now, right? I mean, the only thing you're missing is just the little menu thing here. Whoops. Okay. Let's do this. So, now we look around. We investigate. I want to look at this guy. Mr. Mortimer still sits motionless by the corner of the room, his gaze never leaving the rain. Little doggy, can I pet you? Okay. A delicate arrangement of violets and white roses. They seem to be fresh and fairly new. An old rotary dial telephone. It looks like it's still in good use. A large bookshelf stands close to the entranceway. It contains a couple of photo albums and a few phone books. Can I look at them? Frames decorating the walls are covered in white sheets veiled with a thin lining of dust on top of each one. Wow, there are so many paintings covering the walls. Are there more like this all over the house? Yes, my grandfather commissioned many back in the day, but sadly he doesn't want to do that anymore. You know, I can't help but notice the paintings are all covered. How come? I did that. I covered them up for my grandfather's sake. For his sake? Yes, he was pretty obsessed with them, you see. There were times he would mutter to himself and would just stare at paintings for days on end. It worried me so much that I had to cover them all. Since then, he hasn't stared at any of them. He just sits quietly looking outside. I see. About the paintings, I also noticed that they all have a similar theme. They all had water in them. I know this isn't a coincidence since you've told us before, but if there's anything you know, anything at all, please tell me. Oh, can I ask you a question first? Sure, go ahead. Do you believe in mermaids? Mermaids? I don't suppose I do. Why? Gazing at the floor, Nina anxiously fidgets and tightly clasps her hands together. She then briefly sighs and continues. Or there's this story, or rather more like fairy tale, that my family has passed down. A fairy tale? Well, it feels like one to me. It's about a fisherman who fell in love with a mermaid. Every day and night, he would go out by the shore to gaze at her beauty. But one day she vanished, leaving him confused and heartbroken. Determined, he would sail many seas for a chance to see her again. Sailing from coast to coast, new lands beyond and back, he would go. Not long after, fortune followed him all throughout his journey and made him one of the wealthiest and most highly respected in his village. However, despite all the wealth he gained through his travels, he never found the mermaid again. She would only be a dream, nothing more. And that's the end of the story. It doesn't end happily, but I guess there's a lesson behind all of it. I just never understood it. What do you think happened to the mermaid? I know it's an exaggeration, and yet I can't help but wonder. It's hard to say. I feel bad for both of them. To be honest with you, I'm not a fan of sad endings. If it were me, I would wish the fisherman and the mermaid could see each other again. Or at least, that's what I think. Even if they weren't meant to be with each other? Yeah, I think so at least. I wouldn't want to imagine going through a journey all by myself. It's hard being alone. A journey all by yourself. Mortimer Estate, 11:30 p.m. After searching vigorously through each of the rooms, he knew his findings would eventually lead him here. This is it. Hugo walks towards the nearest lampshade and switches it on. Dimly illuminated, he sees the extent of how lavish this part of the house is. From the customized window drapes to the vintage furnishings. Everything here exudes that extravagance. But much like the interior Hugo has seen so far, he finds this one in particular reeks of it. Plastered from wall to wall, a gloom lingers. It's as if the room itself is moldering, despite its preserved nature. Okay. A classic wooden chest lies at the foot of the canopy bed. Its lock still firmly holds, safeguarding whatever inside. An old photo of lost time, a sweet summertime memory of a little girl with her beloved grandfather. That's cute. Scattered pieces of paper, all forgotten, lie waiting on the cold floor. Heavily etched markings are found scrawled all over the papers. A meticulously organized set of academic books ranging from non-fiction to geography. All are on display. However, hidden away behind the vast collection are some children's fairy tales, all carefully kept. A leather-bound journal rests on the edge of the table. Its pages are torn out so haphazardly that the binding itself is starting to fall out. Atop the fireplace, unblemished and unmarked by time, hangs a curious and familiar painting of a beautiful woman floating on water. On water, sorry. What else is clickable here? I don't see anything else that's clickable. The tea set? A pristine pearl white tea set sits patiently by, untouched and unused for quite some time. I need to hurry. I don't want to stay here for too long. Mortimer Estate, 11:50 p.m. He searches and searches, and still there's no sign of Louis. To Hugo, even if there is a fragment, a singular thread to that person, to their real selves, he could find them. But there is nothing. Not one thing pertaining to him. It's as if he thought Louis barely exists at all. What's going on? I clearly sensed that presence from before, but it's gone again. Damn it, I wish I had more time. No, calm down, it has to be here. I just need to focus. He ponders again, retracing every step and every little detail, hoping that he overlooks something. Yet all he knows is that one tangible thing that connects him, that tethers so closely to this space, and most of all to Henry, is the letter. Words of promise, of love, and delicately etched onto a page, but tainted with a powerful and dark emotion that has been festering for too long. Tainted. From the very start of all of this, Hugo believed that whoever Louis was, they were the ones responsible. He thought he could find them and convince them to stop their haunting for good, to bring them peace and to move on. However, that isn't the case anymore. The natural force that binds everyone so closely together in this family is not the cause of an angry spirit. No, it's something more far devious than that. As he takes the letter from out the envelope, he notices a change within. Bearing no foreboding threat at the bottom of the page, it looks just like a regular letter, or rather, what it once was. A sad, tragic love. If you can't come, then I understand. Things have gotten more complicated with your mother ever since she found out about us, right? I'm sorry, Henry, for everything. It hurts to see you so torn up like this. I would never hurt you or drag you along with me. If this is to be our farewell, then can I ask you one last favor? Could you keep my locket? I know this is selfish of me, but I'd like for you to have it. I'd be happy to know it's safe with you. My heart will forever be yours, Henry. With love always, Louis. So this was the true letter. A small warmth emanates from the paper, wrapping closely around his fingers, quiet and soothing. The fragment Hugo was searching for. Louis, I'm sorry. You were also a victim in all of this too. Please, if you can hear me, I need your help. Without warning, the sound of a click can be heard across the bedroom, as if something unlocked itself. Hugo turns his head towards the sound and sees the chest. Unlike the other furniture, its dark and rustic features have not been maintained well. Left to rot on its own. Suddenly, he stops at the sound of the voice, a sweet voice whispering to him, beckoning him towards the fireplace. Come here, my dear, sweet boy. Oh. Let me save here. Okay. Let me do a... Yeah. Let me... Saving there. Because I want to go to the painting. There, mounted by the fireplace, is a painting of a beautiful woman floating on water. Her pale skin is incandescent, brilliantly prominent against the contrast of the dark, murky waters that keep her hidden. Keep her bound to the canvas. Hugo stares intensely at the picture. An empathetic sorrow swells within him, disarming his very senses and forcing him to inch closer. Surrendering himself to the sweet song. Poor thing, how lonely you must feel. You are a lot like him, like Henry. Hugo? As Hugo approaches closer and closer to the painting, his mind is screaming to run. He sees it. He can finally see beyond the facade the lady portrays, what the painting truly is. But don't worry. I can take away that sadness. Oh shit! A deformed creature, a mermaid, floats above the surface. The voice whispers. Large, hollow eyes stare back, boring deeply into his eyes. Her skin is melting, bleeding heavily, this black ichor, as if it gushes out from the canvas. Some of it starts to hit not only the floor, but Hugo as well. The black viscous tar clings persistently onto him, unrelentless as they continue to pile up. Then he feels it, what drew him initially to this painting. A deep sense of longing rushes through him, snuffing out what little control he had left. Finally embracing this nature, to come home. Take my hand. Oh shit. Without hesitation, Hugo reaches out his hand while his body leans in closer to the mermaid. She grabs and pulls him in. Not once looking back, he dives and falls after her, returning to nothing. Bad end beyond the painting. Okay. Let me go back. I just wanted to see it. Don't go to the painting. No, stay focused, Hugo. I won't let it get to me. Preparing himself, he heads towards the chest and opens it. Inside, scrambled together a bunch of notebooks and small trinkets. Hugo continues to rummage through when he stumbles across an old newspaper article. Young man found dead by the lake. Oh. An unidentified young man was found in the morning of blah 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 3 days prior to his death, according to the police. Ruled as a... Police have claimed that the troubled youth drowned himself. This certainly is a tragic loss, an unfortunate event indeed. The comments. Didn't want to say that word. Especially on YouTube. No claim of his body has been made. Louis. By the corner of Hugo's eye, he spots a bright glint buried beneath the clutter. He searches for it. A locket of brilliantly gold shines, unblemished, retaining a timeless luster. Inside, it safeguards a picture of a young man with glasses smiling brightly. This must be a locket that he was talking about. It's so pretty. I'm surprised it still shines like this. In this picture. Did he put this here? No, it might have been Henry. Or would he store it away like this? What should I do? Take the locket, right? It's just gonna... I should probably hold on to this for now. Take it to him, please, Louis. A gentle but distant plea echoes in Hugo's heart. A forgotten ache of yearning and regret grips him deeply. Feelings not of his own start to rise, like small ripples on a pond, wanting to be found again and remembered. Don't worry, I'll bring it to him. I'll make sure of it. Hugo is about to put everything back into the chest when he feels a wet, cold sensation crawling up his leg. What? Water? A pool of water relentlessly spreads across the floor, already seeping into the chest. Damn it, no! Suddenly, the lights shut off. A scream is heard, followed by a myriad of shouts. He was about to call out to Noah, but stops at the sight of a pale feet before him. Looming over him stands a tall, ominous figure. His face is shrouded in complete darkness, devoid of any human emotion. It appears as a young man, but Hugo knows that it's far from it. Noah's very thing is trying to imitate a human form, trying to be human. Hugo can only stare back. Paralyzed with fear, he is forced to watch the horror as it slowly creeps towards him. It's just like before, this sensation of someone staring at him from within, but this time it's drawing nearer, inching ever so closely. The words call out to Colby, or Noah fail to reach out. Lodged in his throat, he struggles in pain. With his breathing shallow, he tries to force his body to move. And then it stops. Looking down at Hugo, filled with nothing but malice and contempt, it speaks. Don't get in my way. All of a sudden, the door to the bedroom slams shut and the entity disappears. The tension from his body finally realizes its agonizing grip, and he gasps desperately for air. His vision blurs and his breathing is haggard. He staggers towards the door. He picks at the handle several times, but is tightly jammed. Fuck. Noah, Colby! To his dismay, he is only greeted with silence at the other end of the door. Damn it. From a distance, he faintly hears the sound of Colby's relentless barking as it gets further away from the house. He rushes towards the window. He tries to pry it open, but just like the door, heavy force prevents him from doing so. Like being underwater. His movements slow and drawn out, as if being dragged down by that thing. Fuck this. Frantically looking around the room, he spots a nearby chair. Without a moment sooner, Hugo grabs a chair and starts to strike the window. Bit by bit, the window cracks, gets larger with each blow, splitting off smaller pieces. What the hell is this thing made out of? Still trying to catch his breath, he musters all the strength he has, left for a final blow. Damn you, just break already. Clearing out the remaining glass shards, Hugo peers his head out to see if any railing he could grab hold of. However, he discovers instead that the wall adjacent is covered in ivy. Despite how heavy the rain has drastically become, he reaches out for it, grabbing a handful of the vines. Carefully, he climbs out of the window, gripping tightly and making sure he doesn't lose his footing. Yet, to his luck, the patch of vines he clutches start to tear away from the wall. Out of desperation, he struggles to find his grip on another, but fails when his hand slips out of reach. Shit! Clamoring wildly as he loses grip on the ivy, he crashes, lands down onto a thicket of bushes. Air forced out of him, he heaves uncontrollably, trying to even out his breathing. But even that is laborious. An immense pain spreads across not only his back, but his entire body. God, I'm getting too old for this. Although his body screams out in pain, he forces himself up. There's still time, I can do this, I have to do this. With staggering feet and haggard breathing, he makes his way to the place where it all started. To the lake, where this tragedy starts and ends. Lake, unknown time. Finally entering through the park, Hugo calls out to Colby and Noah. Colby, Noah, where are you? He hears faintly the sounds of barking and echoes of people yelling in the distance. He rushes towards the echoes, guiding him through the downpour. With his heart racing and blood rushing to his head, he finds his way to the lake. Drawing closer, he sees Nina giving chase to her grandfather. Unfortunately, she doesn't get too far as Noah stops her. Grandpa, stop! Grandpa! Let me go, my grandpa, he's... No, Nina, it's dangerous. You'll get hurt too. I don't care, I don't want to lose anyone anymore. It's at that instant, Hugo trudges against the water, pursuing Anita's steed. Or stead, sorry. I was thinking of in the movie Shrek, when Donkey calls himself a noble steed. Hugo? No, don't. Please fall deaf to his ears. Not even the whines and worried cries of his partner could make him turn back. Determined, he forges ahead. Nearing the deep end of the lake, he sees Henry Mortimer gazing directly across the abyss. He looks even more frail and disheveled than before. It's as if all the life he's lived up until this point had begun to fray, draining every ounce of himself and surrendering it all to the lake. Before Henry could lean in, Hugo reaches out and tugs at his arm. Mr. Mortimer, listen to me. Nothing is waiting for you down there, so please come back to the shore with me. Motionless and unresponsive, he stares deeply into the water. His haze over his eyes is still obscure and persistent. There are so many things we cannot afford to lose in our lives, and you're one of them. To Nina, you're all she has left. She needs you, Mr. Mortimer. Hugo felt it. A slight jolt from Henry's arm as if stirred by the mention of Nina. He slowly turns his face to Hugo. Nina. However, just as cruel and violent as a storm, Henry jerks back, wrenching his arm away from Hugo's hold on him. No, this is all my fault. If I only got to Louis sooner, then none of this would have happened. He was waiting for me, was patient with me, and yet for all the things he's done, I chose my family over him. He's gone because I didn't pick him. Henry backs further away from the shoreline. Mr. Mortimer! His manic eyes never straying away from Hugo, as if keeping his distance from him. Louis, I'm sorry. I was the one who dragged you into this. You deserve so much more. And I wish. Henry struggles over his words. He claps tightly to his shirt, his throat dry and taut from all he has bottled up. From all those repressed and silent years of just waiting for this curse to finally take him. I wish I had gone with you that night, Louis. Sir, even if you still covet that wish, it wouldn't resolve anything. Not for you or Louis. I read what he wrote to you those years ago. He understood that you didn't want to come see him. But the thing is, Mr. Mortimer, Louis never thought anything less of you. He said so in his letters to you. Huh? His letters. For the longest time, I wanted to believe he hated me for that, resented me for that choice. Or at least I thought it was easier for me to think that way. How long has it been since I talked about him? It's been too long, sir. But that's why you don't have to shoulder all of that pain by yourself anymore. We can talk about it. About you and Louis. All of it together. Hugo extends not only his hand to him, but a promise. A promise that Henry had yearned for so long. A way to forgive himself. He hesitates at first. What fool believes in a deserved forgiveness? Such a thing doesn't exist. And yet, despite everything, Hugo still reaches out to him. To a stranger. Maybe he can be forgiven. Just as he was about to reach out for Hugo, a hand slithers around Henry's instead. Its arms unnaturally contort around him, while its head perches on his shoulder. This thing. This Louis is no longer pretending to be human. With piercing cold green eyes, it glares directly at Hugo, mocking him, cursing him, wishing nothing but despair. We can be saved. We can be forgiven. There's only one true way out of this. I will share with you the most happiest of endings. Before Hugo could reach out for Henry's hand, he disappears into the water. Mr. Mortimer! Without hearing the anguished cries and desperate pleas, Hugo dives in after him, into the abyss. Oh. Plunging into icy waters, Hugo feels shocks running rampant throughout his body, like spikes continuously piercing from his legs to the tips of his fingers, fiercely and unyielding. His chest tightens and his heart races as he begins to kick his legs, hoping whichever way he goes, he'll find his way to Henry. Swimming deeper and deeper in, he sees faintly a figure slowly descending into the darkness. As he finally gets closer to Henry, a long, snake-like arm stretch across the void and grab Hugo's neck, violently squeezing out all the air from him. He desperately tries to wrench its hands away. But with each struggle, Hugo's movements begin to weigh heavier and heavier. Louis, where are you, Louis? It's looking for Louis? Digging deep into his coat pockets, he grasped tightly in his hand the locket that Henry kept and had long forgotten, holding it out as it shines ever so brightly in the dark. Oh. Ah, there you are. As it releases its grip on Hugo and instead reaches out for the locket. Taking this as a chance, he drops the chain and kicks it with all his might to grab Henry's arm. With his heart and body screaming in pain, he swims desperately to the surface. Almost there. I just have to. As the light from the surface begins to blur, Hugo makes one last attempt to reach for it. With his limbs worn out and his energy spent, this is all he can do. Before he loses consciousness, he notices a figure swimming towards them, getting closer and closer. And then everything fades to black. Ooh. Drifting along what feels like an endless sea, Hugo courses through wave after wave, not knowing where he's going or caring for that matter. All he knows is that he's very, very tired. How long has it been since he's got a good night's rest? It's been so long. Maybe I should take that rest now. I'd like that so much. I agree that you deserve it, but not here. I'm sorry for startling you. I just wanted to see you one last time before I go. Louis, you've done so much for me and Henry. I can't thank you enough. No worries. I want to thank you too for watching over me. And also, I want to apologize for my remarks from before. I really thought that I had things figured out once I found you, but you know how that turned out for me. It's alright, really. After all this time, I didn't think anyone could hear me. Especially Henry. Louis, I was worried about him for a long time. He always wanted to keep me away from his personal struggles, to keep me safe from them, but I was too stubborn for my own good. Honestly, I don't regret it. Any of it. Even if I could no longer reach out to Henry. Fate weaved this thread back to you, our tangent, connecting us once more into this very moment. And for that, I'm forever grateful to you, Hugo. You're welcome, Louis. From a far distance, Hugo hears a voice crying out to him, beckoning for him to return. Well, they're waiting for you. I guess they really are, huh? Take care always, Hugo. You too, Louis. Lake. With his eyes closed and his senses still returning, he feels the constant tugs and licks of a certain bloodhound, whining as he tries to wake up his partner. Hugo! He hears another familiar voice, too annoyingly close for comfort. His eyes shot right open. He jerks up. Confused, Hugo looks around before he coughs up the remaining water in his lungs. Are you all right? Noah starts to pat his back while Colby continues to whine over Hugo. What happened? Where's Mr. Mortimer? He's safe. So is Nina. They're both okay. The police and the ambulance should arrive soon. Thank goodness. Is there anything you want to say to me? Instead of thank goodness. I swear you don't listen to a goddamn word I say. I'm sorry, Noah. Exhausted, he lets out a sigh. He then continues to pat Hugo's back aggressively when someone approaches them. Detective Laurent? Oh, Nina. There's someone I want you to meet. Behind her stands an elderly man. Frail in stature, he timidly looks to the side pensively as he ponders to himself. Although his youth has long faded, his eyes are what catches Hugo's attention. They're no longer a piercing and vicious green. Only eyes just like Nina's. Hello, Mr. Mortimer. Detective. I never got the chance to say goodbye to him. I always thought about it every day. What if Louis lived on in this world? What if he stayed a little longer with me? It's because of that constant mindset I dragged everyone down. And I kept hurting not only me, but Nina especially. I was the one who kept hurting her, the one to blame for all of this. But you, someone that I've never met, still went out of your way to save me, not knowing my burdens or my faults. Thank you. Hugo reaches out to Henry and smiles brightly at him. It's my pleasure, sir. Before he lets go, Henry tugs at Hugo's hands one last time. I hope that someday you two will overcome it. The next day. Well, good morning, Hugo. You're bright and early. Morning. With much fervor and haste, Hugo resumes writing on his notepad. Although by closer inspection, he looks like he's going to combust at any minute. Are you writing up the report? Without looking up, Hugo responds back. Yeah, for the most part. You still need to write yours too. I will. But since I haven't had breakfast yet, I don't like eating by myself. Ah, cute. Let me guess. 2 is better than 1? Bingo! Wow, Hugo, you're really catching on. I'm so proud of you. Shut it, will you? I swear, if only I hadn't fallen off from the goddamn window, maybe my report would have been shorter. Before Noah could begin to cut the bacon, he pauses at the mention of Hugo's report. Oh, by the way, mind telling me what happened to Mortimer's window? I broke it. Well, that's obvious to me. What I don't understand is, why is it broken? Do you know how much it costs to repair a window like that? I know, it's really dumb of me. I'm sorry. Besides, I told Mr. Mortimer about it before we left. Honestly, I wasn't expecting an earful from him. And also the bill. And, surprisingly enough, he said it was okay. Lucky us, right? So what, you just called it a day after all of that? Thank you so much, Mr. Mortimer. You broke it, you pay for it. Would you chill? Of course I'll pay for it. But each time I keep insisting, he just shrugged it off. Said that we already went through a lot for them, so this was nothing in comparison. Ugh. You know what? He's right. After all we went through, we deserve at least a nap. But before he could walk away, he stops and sees a familiar person walking towards the storefront, carrying something with her. Good morning, you two. Just barely a foot through the door, a certain bloodhound stirs up from his resting spot and makes his way towards Nina, tail uncontrollably wagging. Good morning to you too, Colby. Nina scratches behind one of Colby's ears, making his right foot unconsciously move on its own, scratching an invisible but desirable spot for him. Good morning, Miss Nina. Morning. What brings you here this time around? Is everything alright with your grandfather? Yeah, he's doing pretty well, actually. Even better than before. We talked so much last night, I hardly slept at all. But honestly, it's been a while since I last spoke to him so freely like that. I hardly felt tired at all. That's wonderful to hear. But there's something else I wanted to ask to both of you for. To put it bluntly, I need your help. If you two aren't busy, I would like some company eating these. Inside a plastic bag are a stack of 2 boxes placed on top of one another. She opens up the box on top and reveals a colorful array of neatly decorated donuts, all lined perfectly. No cramped or squished spaces. A work of art in Hugo's eyes. Wow, so pretty. Donuts? They look so delicious. We're more than happy to eat these with you, Nina. It's so cute. There he goes again with his donuts. But yes, please join us, Miss Nina. We're about to have our breakfast too. Weren't we, Kuya? Always so brazen in front of others. You do make it exceptionally easy for me. Ugh. You both have such great chemistry with each other. On second thought, I'm way too tired for this. I'm going to have to apologize in advance for this, Nina. But truthfully, I've been running on last night's coffee and I'm about to pass out any minute now. No worries, honestly. I think a little break time sounds like what we all need right now. Thanks. Hugo puts down his pen and proceeds to head for the couch. Colby follows after him. Would you like to join us, Nina? I would love to. I guess we save these for later then. Yes, please do. Now come on, it's nap time. Noah sighs heavily before setting down the food on his desk. He then gestures Nina towards the sofa, in which she happily takes his offer and joins them. Aw, this is cute. I like this. I'm getting old. I mean, you are old. Shut it. This is really nice. Good boy, Colby. Come here. Aw, he's so cute, giving him little pats. Nina quietly coos at him and begins to scratch at the back of Colby's ears once more. He leans a little closer to Noah, his voice above a whisper, but close enough for Noah to only hear him. You know, I'm glad that you came along yesterday. What's this? Are you getting chummy with me now? Call it chummy or whatever, but I really mean it. If you hadn't saved this back there... Look, I told you before. I'll be there whenever you get yourself into reckless shit. But besides, didn't you say this was nap time? Get some rest. You deserve it. You too. A calming silence fills the room as they bask under the morning glow. No big parties or celebrations. Just each other's company and sharing this small reward. A small, warm comfort. Yay! Good ending! I like that a lot. I do wonder though about the family, Nina's family, because I feel like that was unanswered. The heir, like every time they were tried to have a heir, they would mysteriously disappear. I feel like that's not answered. I do love, I did like the story a lot. It was, very sweet, sad, a doomed romance, I believe. Henry and Louis. That is very, very sad. But I also really like, Hugo and Noah together. I really like the characters. Love Colby. So yeah, I think, yeah, this was a really good story. I hope they make more. I hope there's a number 2, Stillwater 2, because I want to know more. I feel like there's a lot that could be expanded from this. Maybe there's like more endings that I just missed, obviously, because I'm not going to go through all of them. That's for you to discover on your own. But yeah, I liked it a lot. Okay, bye.